So hello everyone, welcome to Community Tuesdays. And we are so lucky to have this stage performance. I want to thank Bud Rubin who sponsored it. And so thanks to him, it is free to everybody today. And we hope to have a lot more things like this. And thanks to Enid Davis who wrote this whole story, directed it. She's put a lot of work into it and we're also so lucky to have her. So we'll let Enid tell you a little about the play and what you're going to see. So a lot of fun things coming about, and thanks for coming today. So I'll hand it over to Enid. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to a fun-filled introduction to Jewish folk and fairy tales dealing with love and marriage. Now, many of us know the Bible stories, and some of us have read the legends written by scholars about biblical heroes. But how many people know that in the Jerusalem Archive collection, there are over 24,000 folk and fairy tales created orally by Jewish folk? Just like the Grimm brothers, who interviewed people and asked them to write down the stories they heard as children, Jewish people went out into the field in the 18th and 19th century and collected stories that the folk told from the very beginning. So we hope you enjoy them. I'm hoping you all have a program. The source from where I got all these stories are listed in the program, so you can go look for the books too. Then, after the fourth story, we have the Yiddish song Tumbalakaya, and we're going to ask you to stand up and take a stretch and sing with us. So if you don't have a program, then please raise your hand and perhaps Michelle can bring it to you. I hope you enjoy the show. We're going to start our wedding procession, because this is a mock wedding between Solly and Molly, an East European wedding, where you will meet the Bachin, the Jewish jester, who was traditional since medieval times at Jewish weddings in Eastern Europe. To sing the wedding song, when I wave to her so she'll know to start, is a very talented woman and a very good friend of mine, the one and only Julie Amato.
Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed, we vowed our true love, the word wasn't said. The world was in bloom, there were stars in the skies, except for the few that were there in your eyes. Dear, as I held you close in my arms, angels were singing a hymn to your charms. Two hearts gently beating, murmuring low, darling, I love you so. The night seemed to fade into blossoming dawn. The sun shone on you, but the dance lingered on. Could we but recall that sweet moment sublime, we'd find that our love was unaltered by time. Dear, as I held you close in my arms, angels were singing a hymn to your charms. Two hearts gently beating, murmuring low, darling, I love you so.
Husband, where are you going with our cows?
I am taking them for a walk.
They are our livelihood. Be careful with them.
On my walk, I met a troop of merry singers.
Sing!
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel.
Oh, what a wonderful song. Teach it to me.
Oh, what will you give us?
I will give you Shayna the cow.
Okay.
So they taught me the song. On my way home, I met a troop of merry singers.
Sing.
Do you love me? I can really move. Do you love me? I am in the groove. Do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance, dance, dance.
Oh, what a wonderful song. Teach it to me.
Oh, what will you give us?
I will give you Mayday the cow.
Okay.
So they taught me the song. I am home, wife.
Where is Shayna?
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey twat, it was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the cookie goes. Pop goes the weasel.
Where is Madel?
Do you love me? I can really move. Do you love me? I am in the groove. Do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance, dance.
So, I'm very happy to report that the rabbi granted me a divorce from this noodlehead. Yeah.
Greetings. Welcome. Welcome, my dear friends, to the wedding of Molly and Solly. I am the Batin, a wedding jester hired to entertain the bride, the groom, and all the guests with stories and jokes. This is my wife, Mrs. Batin. She can amuse you with just one good look at her funny little face.
Vodkins have appeared at Jewish Eastern European weddings since the Middle Ages. They are still popular today among the Hasidic sect.
Our Bachkin is really special because his stories will come alive as he invites our wedding guests to play a part in their telling.
First, we shall tell tales of woe and love gone wrong, including supernatural tales with ghosts and sorcerers. But then the tales will turn sweet, with romantic and heartwarming themes after the first act, and the symbolic marriage of the bride and groom. And as for you, rascal husband, there's nothing wrong with my little face.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the first story, A Song for Two Cows, is based on a Yiddish folktale. The sources for all the stories are listed in the program. So first, a Jewish joke about plays. A boy came home from school and tells her mother he got a part in a school play. That's wonderful, says the mother. Which part? The part of the Jewish husband, says the boy proudly. Frowning, the mother says, go back and tell them you want a speaking role. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting The Bride Wore a Shroud. This scary tale was originally compiled by Shlomo Meisterol in 1904 in Jerusalem. A variant of the story is found in a 16th century Yiddish manuscript. Once, 3 young men were strolling through the forest. The moon was full, and their hearts were joyous, for their friend Reuben was getting married the next evening.
Reuben, Joel, let us stop by these rocks. I am getting tired.
I cannot believe you're getting married tomorrow.
And to the prettiest girl in town, too.
Not to mention the richest. I am very lucky.
Say, what is that thing sticking out of the ground? Right near Benjamin's foot. What is it?
Looks like a root or something.
Oh my God, it's a finger.
The 3 men bent down to examine it more closely.
It is a finger, and it looks to be a woman's finger.
Okay, who wants to marry her? Someone put a ring on her finger.
Well, since I am the first to be getting married, how about I just slip my bar mitzvah ring right on her finger? There.
I dare you to recite the 3 wedding vows 3 times now.
You are betrothed to me. Harai at mekudechet li. Harai at mekudechet li. Harai ma at mekudechet li.
Joel, isn't that the funniest thing you've ever seen?
It's moving. The finger just moved.
What's happening? The ground is breaking up.
And from the ground, a woman emerged and stood up. Her filthy shroud was half eaten by worms. She had been dead a good many years. She was truly a terrifying sight.
My husband! Which one is my husband? I think it is you.
Let's get out of here.
He's out.
The dead woman followed the 3 men to the edge of the forest. Benjamin, Joel, and Reuben all went home, promising to tell no one of their horrifying ordeal. The next evening, the wedding party assembled in the synagogue. The bride was a picture, and both her mother and Reuben's mother were bursting with pride. The rabbi began the ceremony.
My dear, dear friends, we are gathered here to join Reuben and...
Not so fast. That groom belongs to me. We were married last night.
God in heaven, darling, come away quickly.
What is that?
Nothing for your eyes to see. Come, everyone out.
Soon the only people left were the rabbi, Reuben, and the dead bride. Reuben was visibly shaken.
Let us get to the bottom of this. Madam, you say Reuben married you last night?
Yes, Rabbi. He put a ring on my finger and said the wedding blessing 3 times.
She must have had very good hearing to hear that under all that dirt.
Silence!
There were 2 witnesses as well.
Is all this true, Reuben?
Look at my finger. The ring has his initials on it.
Rabbi, it was a joke. I did not intend to really marry her.
Well, I intend to make you my own. I was never taken to a marriage bed when alive, and I'm not giving up my chance now.
I think I'm going to be sick, Rabbi.
It does not look good for you, Reuben. I will have to call a court meeting and invite all the parties involved. The wedding between Reuben and Malka is postponed.
The next day, all the parties were assembled at the rabbi's study in the synagogue.
Let us hear from the mothers of Reuben and Malka.
Rabbi, Reuben and Malka have been betrothed while they were both in the womb. As Malka's mother, I swear this to be the case.
That is true, Rabbi. Both sets of parents agreed that if one of us had a girl and one of us had a boy, they should be wed. That was 18 years ago. My Reuben has loved Malka ever since he was a young boy.
So the vow that was made by the parents came many years before the vow was made to the bride corpse 2 nights ago. Now, let us hear from the witnesses, Benjamin and Yoel. Benjamin, did you witness this pledge made by Reuben, and did he say it 3 times?
Yes, Rabbi. Yes to both questions.
And Yoel, same questions?
Yes to both questions, Rabbi.
I now call on Reuben. Reuben, was it your intention to marry this dead woman?
Certainly not, Rabbi. It was a joke. There was just a finger sticking out of the ground. I thought it was from a dead person.
I am a dead person, but that should not be held against me.
I have heard from all sides and will now announce my decision. First, there is the pledge of marriage. The one between Reuben's and Malka's parents was made first. A new pledge does not erase the old. Second, there is the matter of intention. Clearly, it was not Reuben's honest intention to marry the corpse. Thirdly, there is no precedent for a dead person to make a claim of wedlock with a living person. Therefore, I declare the marriage between Reuben and the corpse null and void.
I think she's really dead now.
We should bury the poor woman properly. My family will pay for the funeral. That's the very least my Reuben can do for her.
So it is settled. After the funeral and the proper mourning time, we shall have the wedding for Malka and Reuben.
And that is what happened. And what a joyful wedding it was. Let that be a lesson to all you engaged young men out there. Stay away from the woods on full moon nights before your nuptials. And never slip your bar mitzvah ring onto fingers sticking out from the forest floor. The end. Now, a joke about Satan, who is featured in the next story. A tour bus with 30 Hadassah ladies aboard turned over and were dispatched to heaven. On the arrival, an admitting angel told them that the computers were down, so they would have to wait. At that moment, God intervened and said that he would speak to Satan to see if they could be temporarily housed below. Room was found, and they all went down to the temporary quarters. A few hours later, God received an urgent telephone call from Satan, who tells him that he must remove the Hadassah women. What's the problem? God asks. Satan replies, these Hadassah's women are ruining my setup. They have been down here for only a few hours, and already they have raised $100,000 for an air conditioning system. And now for our next story. This tale was originally told in the prayer books of the Jews of Yemen. Lots of new stuff was added by Miss Davis. Presenting the devil and his cohort. One day, a devil saw a man running away.
Hey, friend, why are you in such a hurry?
I'm running away from my wife.
I'm running away from my wife, too. I have an idea. Let's be partners. We can make a lot of money.
All right, what do we have to do?
Well, we will travel to another country. I will possess the princess and make her go mad. The king will call all kinds of physicians to cure her. They will all fail. Then you will go to the king and tell him you are a famous doctor from Brooklyn. And
From where?
Brooklyn, man. Haven't you ever heard of it?
Look, Mr. Devil, I'm a simple Jew, and I have not traveled far.
Oh, you are Jewish, mister. You're going to love Brooklyn. So you say to the king, I'm a hard-working doctor from Brooklyn, 33rd Street. Only you have to say it with a Brooklyn accent. You say, I'm a hard-working doctor from Brooklyn, 23rd Street.
Bachman, help me.
Yes, my good man.
Where did you say this story is from?
From Yemen. I'm sure there was no mention of Brooklyn in the original. I do not think Brooklyn existed then.
That's their loss. Brooklyn is going to be one swinging place for the Jews.
Mr. Devil, if we don't hasten our tale, both our wives will find us.
All right. So listen, you tell the king that you can cure the princess if he gives you upfront a lot of money. Then I'll cure the girl and we split the fee.
That sounds harmless. Let's go.
The devil and his cohort settled in a foreign country in an inn close to the palace. The queen was in charge as the king was away. The devil possessed the princess and caused her to go mad. She would not stop singing a song which was quite incomprehensible to her mother and to the entire palace court.
Daughter, what is wrong with you? Will you please stop singing that nonsense?
I drink egg creams all day long. Nathan hot dog keep me strong. I eat corned beef right or wrong. Do you like my little song? Oh, Brooklyn Dodgers, go team, go! How I miss my homeland so.
Oh, somebody please cure her. She has been seen by all the doctors in the land.
Your Majesty, there is a doctor from a foreign land who claims he can cure the princess.
Maid, send him to me at once.
Hello, Your Highness. I'm a hard-working doctor from outside of Yemen. I can cure your daughter if you pay me 20,000 gold coins up front.
And what if you cannot?
You may behead me.
Go to her at once. I will see to your fee.
Doctor, I will take you to see the princess. Follow me. Here is her room. I leave her in your care.
So, you must be the princess. I'm a doctor from another land. I've been paid handsomely to cure you. Did you hear that, Mr. Devil?
Our little cookies black and white, onion, bagels, fish that's white, pickled herrings my delight, and cheese pizza late at night. Brooklyn Dodgers, go team go! How I miss my homeland so.
Lord help me. That devil is still harping on Brooklyn.
Oh, hello, friend. Did you enjoy her little ditty? I don't know about you, but it makes my mouth water.
Look, Mr. Devil, I have the money. It's time to cure her. Let's go.
I'm not ready to leave. Tell the queen you need another day to cure her.
The man spoke with the queen.
Your Highness, forgive me. I need another day with the princess.
Very well.
The next evening, the man visited the princess's bedchamber.
Good evening, princess. Mr. Devil. Oh, there you are. Have you cured her yet?
Sour pickles in a jar, smell of someone's black cigar, great big chunks of lava, spirits from a Chinese bar. Brooklyn Dodgers, go team, go! How I miss my homeland so.
As you can see, not yet. I shall need another 3 days.
I curse the day I ever met up with you. My head is very much at risk, you know.
The man left the royal bedchamber and found the queen on her throne.
Your Highness, 1,000 pardons, but I need 3 more days to cure your daughter. I realize now that the only thing that will cure her is this. You need to assemble your entire army. Have them gather under the princess window. Each soldier must bring a trumpet or drum. If they have no musical instrument, have them shout out loud. The noise will cure the princess, I promise.
Very well. But let me warn you, Doctor. Your head is in grave danger. No pun intended.
3 days later, the assembled army made such a racket that every bird flew out of the kingdom. The man went to the princess's bedchamber, and as suspected, the devil was holding his ears and grimacing in pain.
What in my name is going on out there? I cannot stand the noise.
I'm afraid your wife is outside looking for you. She's brought her own entire army to find you.
I'm getting out of this place immediately. Watch me disappear.
And as soon as the devil was gone, the princess was cured. The man left the castle with 20,000 gold coins, which certainly helped him keep far away from his wife. Dear Molly, this story should remind you never to be such a shrew that your husband runs away from you. You would not want poor Sally to ever have to resort to being the cohort of the devil. The end. Before we begin our next story, did you hear about the joke?
Martin.
Yes, wedding guest. What can I do for you?
I know a joke about a Jewish hospital patient. May I tell it?
Everyone wants to be in the act. Okay, be my guest.
Okay. A Jewish man in the hospital tells the doctor he wants to be transferred to a different hospital. The doctor says, "What's wrong? Is it the food?" The man says, "No, the food is fine. I can't fetch." "Is it the room?" "No, the room is fine. I can't fetch." "Is it the staff?" "No, everyone at the staff is fine. I can't fetch." "Then why do you want to be transferred?" "Because I can't fetch."
The text of the next story comes from a mid-19th century book published in Krakow.
Presenting She Wore Blue Velvet. Once there was a husband who enjoyed buying his lovely and pious wife beautiful things.
I am so glad I stopped by your market stall today. I do like that soft blue fabric you have over there.
Oh, I have enough fabric here to make your wife a very pretty dress.
Wonderful. I shall buy the fabric and bring it to my tailor immediately.
Very good, sir.
Unfortunately, the husband did not notice that a sinister-looking stranger was hovering near him. He was a vicious sorcerer who had overheard the husband's conversation with the fabric dealer.
That man's wife must be a divine creature to warrant such devotion. I bet she is a first-class beauty, most worthy of my attention. I shall follow him to his tailor's shop.
Good afternoon, my friend. I found a new piece of fabric for you to create a special dress for my wife.
What an exquisite piece of velvet this is, sir. When do you need the dress?
In 3 weeks, we will celebrate the eve of Yom Kippur. I would very much like her to wear the dress to Kol Nidre services. I know that you are not Jewish, but perhaps you have heard of this holiday?
Indeed, sir, it shall be ready on time. I have your wife's measurements on file.
Then I bid you adieu. I shall return the afternoon before Kol Nidre.
Goodbye, sir.
Hello, Mr. Taylor, my good man. How would you like to earn 2,000 gold coins?
Oh, dear me. I never charged that much to sew a garment, sir.
Well, this is a special request. You see, I've written a spell on this small piece of paper. I want you to sew the paper into the seam of the dress you will be making for the wife of the gentleman who has just left.
A spell? Oh, my goodness. Are you a wizard?
Of a sort.
You are not planning to turn the dear lady into a frog? Or an ogre? Heaven forbid, are you? I could not agree to do that.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Mine is a spell of romance, of passion, of lust.
Oh, that. All right.
Yes, that. As soon as the lady puts on the blue velvet dress, she will be overwhelmed with desire for me. We will spend a glorious night of divine lovemaking. That is all.
Well, I can certainly use an extra 2,000 gold coins. All right, I'll do it.
Good man. Here is the spell, and here is your reward. Farewell.
The husband picked up the dress at the tailor shop several hours before the start of services and headed straight for home. The couple enjoyed their holiday dinner.
That was a most delicious dinner, my dear. I'll wait here while you change into your new dress.
I cannot wait to try it on. I never wore blue velvet before.
As soon as the wife buttoned the last pearl fastener on the dress, her head began to spin.
Oh, what is happening to me? My feet have this strange urge to fly to an address my mind has never heard of before. There is a man at that address who I am falling passionately in love with. I must get rid of my tiresome husband before I can fly into my true love's arms.
Dear, are you ready yet? We will be late.
Oh, go without me, please. I am suddenly not feeling very well. I'll come later.
Do take a rest and meet me at the synagogue as soon as you are feeling better. Or, do you want me to stay with you?
No. I'll be fine in a little while. I'll be there with you soon.
Well, I'm off.
Oh, joy! He is gone at long last. Good riddance to him. Now I am free to find my heart's desire.
So the enchanted woman hurried on foot to the home of the sorcerer, banging furiously on his door in her eagerness to embrace him.
Well, hello there. Aren't you a sight for sorcerer's eyes? My hunch was right. You are a beauty.
I love you.
Well, of course you do. But first, let us have some food, some wine, a little...
Already ate. Show me your bedroom now.
If you insist, my darling, come, follow me.
As soon as they entered the bedroom, the wife removed her dress, and as soon as the dress was off her body, the spell was broken.
Oh my God! What am I doing here in my underclothes? Where am I? Oh, who are you? What have I done?
Well, you have done nothing yet, my ravishing beauty. Come to me.
I must get dressed and leave.
But as soon as the dress was securely fastened, her passion returned.
Oh, my darling. How did I ever think of leaving you? I can't wait to get in
But as soon as the dress was off, the spell was broken again.
Help! Help! What is wrong with me? I must escape. It must be that dress.
The wife ran into the courtyard in her chemise and found all exits blocked.
Oh, dear God. I beseech you to help me. I am a faithful and loving wife, and I pray for your help on this holiest of nights. Help me to escape this evil place.
God heard her prayer. He sent a gentle breeze that carried her over the sorcerer's courtyard and onto the steps of her own home. Her husband found her in bed when he arrived home from services.
Oh, I'm so sorry that I could not be with you tonight. I am only starting to feel well again now.
I am sure a good night's sleep is all that you need, my dear.
The day after Yom Kippur, the husband was strolling through the marketplace when he saw, to his great astonishment, the blue velvet dress hanging in another stall.
Good afternoon. I would very much like to purchase the blue velvet dress.
Very good, sir. Shall I wrap it up for you?
Please do, and quickly, please.
The husband took a package and hurried home. Upon his arrival, he approached his wife with a wrapped dress in his hands.
My dear, where is your new blue velvet dress?
Oh, my dear husband. A terrible thing happened to me when I put on that wretched garment. Is that it in the package?
Yes, I found the dress hanging in a market stall.
It must have been God's will that you have the dress. There is something wicked about it. Quickly, go take it to the city elders. I shall tell you why.
The wife told her husband all about the terrible ordeal and her suspicions about the dress. He took the dress to the elders. They took it apart seam by seam and found the spell. The tailor confessed to his part in the crime and named the sorcerer as the instigator. The governor had the tailor put on the rack, and the sorcerer was hung. The end.
Such was the will of our Lord that the two be punished for their terrible crime against an innocent woman and her devoted husband. So, darling Molly, no harm really done. May you have such a devoted husband in Solly.
Husband, dear, it's time for all the wedding guests to stretch a little.
So now you are Jack LaLanne?
No, but I am a singer.
The stage is yours, my love.
I'm going to sing To My Malaika, and I'd like you all to sing the chorus with me. Steht der Woche, steht und tracht, tracht und tracht die ganze Nacht. Wenn es zu nehmen und nicht verschämen, wenn es zu nehmen und nicht verschämen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, frame so shine. Mädel, Mädel, gefällt bei die Regen, Wusken wachsen, wachsen und regen, Wusken brennen und wir uns nennen, Wusken weinen, weinen und trennen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, frela so sein. Narische Bucher, was darfst du fragen? Ein Stein kann wachsen, wachsen und regen. Eine Liebe kann brennen und mit euch brennen. Ein Herz kann weinen, weinen und rennen. Tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, 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 laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, tumbala, laika, frela so sein.
the actors will now sit on part 2 of their script. So that's halfway through our show. We hope you're enjoying it. And we have 4 more stories. This time they change a little. You might recognize some that remind you of some from the Grimm brothers. And don't forget to stay for some wedding cake. For not only are we celebrating the marriage of Solly and Molly, but Solly is really my husband, Sandy. And on Tuesday, we will have been married for 48 years. So, story 5. Thank you.
Now that Molly and Solly are married, our folk and fairy tales will be romantic in nature. And no story in all the world folklore is as romantic and as popular as the story of the mistreated girl does well. There are several Yiddish variants of the Cinderella story, all told by women storytellers. We now present the Yiddish Cinderella. Once there was a rabbi and his wife had 3 daughters. One day he asked his oldest daughter, Sosie, how much do you love me? I love you as much as gold, she answers. Next, he asked his second born, Scots, how much do you love me? I love you as much as silver, she replies. Lastly, he asked his younger daughter,
Sorel, how much do you love me?
I love you as much as well-prepared meat loves salt.
Salt? You love me as much as you love salt? Out! I banish you from my house.
His youngest daughter left her home and wandered through the forest, where her clothes became filthy and torn. She soon became hungry, thirsty, and quite lost.
My dear young lady, why are you wandering alone in the forest?
Sorelli told the old man before her the story of her banishment.
That is too bad, my poor child. Now, I shall tell you what to do. Keep walking on this trail until you come to a house in which a rabbi lives. When you hear someone saying the blessing over the wine, answer, Amen, 3 times. Someone will come out of the house and invite you in. Do not go into the house until the rabbi himself extends the invitation. In addition, I'm giving you this stick. When you are in need of something, just say, stick, stick, open, and you shall have whatever you need. Keep the stick in the attic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, kind sir.
And Elijah disappeared.
Oh, look. Here's the house. I shall go close to the window and try to hear what's happening inside. This is amazing! The woman has just finished saying the blessing over the wine. Amen, amen, amen.
Who said Amen?
She opened the front door.
Oh, just look at that poor lost soul. Please, come inside.
No, thank you.
Perhaps my son can convince you.
Hello there. Won't you enter and have some supper with us?
No, thank you.
Perhaps my father, the rabbi, will persuade you.
Please rest your tired feet and enjoy a nice meal with us.
Yes, thank you. I shall be very glad to.
So the girl entered the house and crouched down by the oven. Nothing the family could do would cheer her. Soon they went to sleep. Soriel brought her stick up into the attic and returned to sleep on the kitchen floor. The next morning, the family arose, ate, and dressed quickly. Off they went to a wealthy rabbi's daughter's big wedding.
Oh, I think I'd like to go to that wedding as well. Oh, I'll try out that stick that the nice old man gave me. Stick, open.
Suddenly, a lovely bathtub, a thick soft towel, and a sweet-smelling bar of soap appeared.
Oh, what a delicious soak. Now I need some clothes. Stick, open.
The stick produced a most exquisite gown of gold and silver and a matching pair of gold velvet slippers. When she arrived at the wedding, the rabbi's son could not take her eyes off of her. He certainly did not recognize her as the beggar who was living in the house.
Papa, Mama, I am in love with the girl with the gold velvet slippers. Unfortunately, she changes the topic each time I ask for her name. I am going to get some pitch from the rabbi's servant and smear it on the doorsteps. I hope to catch her shoe.
Sure enough, the pitch caught Soriel's slipper, and she had to hobble home with only one shoe. She was back in the kitchen in her rag dress when the family resumed.
Look what I have, the beautiful girl's shoe. I am now determined to go around the world if necessary to find the lovely young lady who owns this slipper.
Why don't you let me try on the shoe?
You? A beggar girl?
Soriel pulled out the matching shoe from her pocket, and as soon the two gold slippers were on her feet, looking as if they had been custom fitted.
This is not good. A rabbi's son cannot marry a beggar.
She's the only one for me.
Several days later, the parents were more crestfallen than ever because every family member had dreamed for 3 straight nights that the betrothal must continue as planned.
Dear, let us go out for a walk and discuss our situation.
Come, my love, let me show you who I really am.
She took him to the attic and picked up Elijah's stick. Stick, open.
As I live and breathe.
Look at these gorgeous clothes. Okay, some for you and some for me. Let's put them on and go for a walk too.
On their walk, Soriel and the rabbi's son passed the rabbi and his wife.
Husband, did you see that? Our son, all dressed up and walking with a wealthy woman. What is he thinking?
Upon the return home, Soriel was back in her rags.
Son, I warn you against going against our dreams.
Do not worry, dear parents. Sorla is the one for me.
Very well. Let me invite the neighboring rabbis and their families to the wedding. Sorla, dear, do you need any help getting a proper wedding gown?
No, thank you. I have everything I need.
A few days before the wedding, Soriel spoke to the wedding cook. She told her to prepare a portion of the meat without salt and to serve it to a particular rabbi who she would point out. At the day of the wedding, both of the groom's parents were astounded at the beauty of both the bride and her attire.
She looks like a princess.
At the wedding, the bride watched her father struggle to eat his dinner. She approached him.
Rabbi, sir, I could not help but notice that you are not enjoying your meal.
The rabbi did not recognize her daughter.
I am certain that the cook meant well, but there is no salt on the meat. The meat is quite tasteless.
Father, you do not recognize me as the daughter you banished for comparing my love for you to salted meat?
the rabbi fainted on the spot. When he was revived, the reuniting of the father and daughter was most joyous. Now Elijah himself came to the wedding. He gave the happy couple a diamond chandelier as a gift. And as soon as they touched it, they ascended to heaven. Just as is Marc Chagall painting. The end. Raise your hand, dear wedding guest, if you have a son-in-law. Aha! Hands down. Please, now think to yourselves, did you have one iota of a say as to who that son-in-law would be? Maybe not, but you would have thought that a father as mighty, powerful, and dominant as King Solomon would have a firm hand on the selection of his daughter's husband. Well, wouldn't you? This story is originally found in the Midrash Tanhuma.
We now present King Solomon and his unexpected son-in-law. The great King Solomon had a beautiful and intelligent daughter of marriageable age. He often consulted the stars to see who she was destined to wed. One night, he received some shocking news.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Have the heavens gone mad? Are the stars mocking me? I read in the constellations that my precious daughter is fated to marry an Israeli scribe from a starving family. And the wedding will take place within a year. This must not be. My daughter shall wed nobody less than a wealthy and brilliant king. Tomorrow I will call my chief engineer, for I have an idea.
Did you send for me, Your Majesty?
Yes, I want you to build a very, very tall tower on an island in the most remote area of my kingdom. Install only one window on the top floor and one door on the top floor leading to a flat roof. Build it quickly and soundly. Get moving.
Yes, sir. Consider it done.
Father, you called for me?
Daughter, I must ask you to do something for me. You do trust me, I hope.
With all my heart.
I need to send you away for a year. I cannot tell you why. I must keep you in a tower on a remote island. The tower will be lavishly furnished, and you will lack for nothing. 36 female servants will cater to your every need. At the end of the year, I will join the crew that comes to bring you home. Will you do this for me?
Yes, Father. I will sail away to this remote tower and live there for a year, if that is what you ask.
The tower was finished shortly, and the princess was pulled into the top room by rope.
I do wonder why on earth my father has isolated me from family and friends. How lonely I shall be.
Meanwhile, in Akko, Israel, a very poor scribe and scholar went looking for work. He thought he'd try his luck among the forest folk. Unfortunately, he became quite lost by the time nighttime fell.
Brr! It is so cold tonight. Dear God, I'm in such need for shelter. What is this? It appears that an ox has been killed, and some animals have split it open. I am going to lie down inside the ox. Ah, it's nice and warm in here. Perhaps sleep will come to my tired bones.
The young man soon fell asleep. An eagle swooped down,
He picked up the ox with the scribe sleeping inside and brought it directly to the roof of the princess's tower. There he finished eating the insides of the dead ox. He flew away before sunrise.
It is morning. I'll take my usual sunrise walk upon the roof. Heavens! What is this?
The scribe awoke at once. When he saw a beautiful princess gazing down at him, he thought he was still dreaming.
Who are you? And what are you doing on my tower roof?
I am a scholar and a scribe from the town of Akko in Israel. While looking for work for my hungry family, I got lost in the forest, and I crept into this ox's carcass for warmth. I swear, I do not know how I got here.
Look! There are 2 eagle feathers inside the ox. You must have been brought here by an eagle.
Then I shall love that eagle for the rest of my life.
Come inside. You may bathe, put on a clean robe, and have some breakfast with me.
When the scribe finished his bath and joined the princess wearing a fresh silk robe, there was never seen a more handsome youth on earth since the creation of Adam. While eating breakfast, the scribe shared his knowledge of Jewish studies with the princess.
I think, my friend, that you will have to stay with me for a year. There is no way to leave the tower, save rope, and no ship is permitted to navigate these waters.
To make a long year short, the two fell in love. The scribe created a marriage contract using his own blood for ink and called upon God and the angels Michael and Gabriel to witness their wedding. However, not everyone was happy.
I'm the scribe.
Dear Princess, as head servant in charge of your needs and the running of the household, I am beside myself with terror. Your father, King Solomon, is going to blame me for your marriage and what looks like to my eyes, your pregnancy. I am so distraught that I feel like jumping out of this window.
Now, my dear, please hear my calming words. My father is not a cruel man. He will see how blameless you are and how happy I am, I assure you.
When Solomon sailed to the tower to retrieve his daughter, he discovered to his shock that she had married and delivered a beautiful baby girl. Upon learning that her husband was a poor scholar and scribe from Akko, he said,
God is great, my daughter. No one can alter his plans.
I swear to you, King Solomon, that my knowledge of Torah is most respectable, and that my family are gentle, pious Jews.
So come, let us sail back home and make a great big beautiful wedding for my happy daughter and for my unexpected but welcome son-in-law.
The end.
Well now, I am certain that you are reminded of the grim tale of Rapunzel. Both stories are concerned with the useless attempt to protect our daughters from fates we do not see fit. This next story is from Morocco and appears in many collections of Jewish folk tales.
Once there was a family that knew a tragedy like no other. Their only child, a girl, was born with the face of a cow. The father was a Torah scholar and taught students in his humble house. The daughter was hidden in a back room and brought up in isolation. This was more due to protective love than from shame. The girl was certainly deformed, but her nature was sweet, and her knowledge of Torah was unequaled for thousands of miles around. One day, a new student came to the Rebbe's home.
Welcome, young man. Let us start with a difficult problem. Then I can see where we should go from there.
They discussed the question for hours.
Rebbe, if you would give me some time alone, I might come up with an acceptable answer.
Please, take as much time as you need. Meanwhile, I will take a walk and refresh my brain.
10 minutes later, a note was slipped from under the back room door, and a knock to alert the young man was sounded.
What is this? It seems that someone behind the door has sent me a note. Let's see what it says. Oh my heavens! This note has the complete and perfect answer to the question at hand.
The scholar went to the back door and knocked several times, but there was no answer. The Rebbe returned.
Rebbe, who lives behind the door? Look what was slipped beneath it.
Ah, yes. I should have guessed that my daughter would be listening eagerly to our discussion.
Your daughter? I have never met anyone else, no offense intended, with this kind of logical mind. Is she of marriageable age? She must have dozens of marriage proposals. Alas, I'm sure she is spoken for.
My daughter has a terrible deformity. To protect her tender feelings, she's kept in her room.
No deformity could stop from me wanting a wife as brilliant as she. I beg you, please allow this wedding to take place.
You appear to be quite earnest. I will discuss this with my wife and daughter. Come back tomorrow for our answer.
The next day, the Rebbe told the scholar that his daughter was willing to marry him. Within a week, they stood under the wedding canopy. When the groom caught sight of the bride under her veil, he almost fainted.
Poor husband, I know you are shocked and grieving for your decision. Please stay with me this one night, and then you are free to go.
Very well. I will be your husband tonight. Tomorrow I will leave my wedding ring and prayer shawl with you. That is all you will ever see of me again.
The scholar went home to his village, many, many miles away. But 9 months later, his wife delivered a perfectly formed baby boy.
You will tell everyone that he is your son, Papa. But I will teach him everything I know, and he will be aware that he is my precious son. I will not hide my face from him.
During his boyhood years, the boy grew up teased and taunted for not having a father. The entire village did not believe that the old Rebbe and his wife were the parents. Finally, his family told him the story of his father and showed the boy his wedding ring and prayer shawl. One day, he said to his mother,
Mother, I am 14 years old now. I am taking my father's things and going back to the town from which he came. I am determined to find him and bring him home.
My poor son, I am afraid you are on a hopeless quest. I pray that you find your father so that he can see what a fine son he has fathered.
The young man traveled for days and days until he came to his father's village.
There is the marketplace. I like the kind looks of that woman selling bread. Excuse me, lady. I'm looking for my father. These are his things. Can you tell me anything about them that would link me to him? A name is embroidered on the corner of his tallit.
My dear young man, I would know who you are by looking into your eyes, because I see my son's face shining through your youthful features. Come, I will take you to meet my son, your father.
The boy's newly found grandmother kept her arm around the young man's shoulder as they walked to a humble cottage. There, sitting at the kitchen table, poring over a book, was the youth's long-lost father.
Son, look up from your studies and see who is our beloved visitor.
Good afternoon. Do I know you?
Please, let me show you what I have brought with me as a means to our introduction.
You have my wedding ring and prayer shawl, and you do look like me. Are you my son?
Oh, I am glad to see my father before my eyes. Oh, more importantly, I am here to bring you to my mother and to unite our family.
I'm afraid that is impossible.
But why? My mother is so wise that scholars come from villages and cities to seek her advice. My mother is so gentle, so loving, and I add with all the truthfulness that exists on this earth that my mother is the most beautiful woman in the world.
The scholar thought perhaps a miracle had taken place.
You go first, my son. I shall follow. I have to find other teachers for my students.
The youth took leave of his father and grandmother. He ran home as fast as his legs would carry him. On the way, unknown to him, he encountered the prophet Elijah.
Whoa, not so fast, my boy.
Oh, a thousand pardons, sir.
I have something to give you. Take this bottle and give it to your mother. Have her wash her face with its contents. Promise me you'll keep this bottle safe on your journey, as your mother needs this miracle from above.
I thank you, sir.
The young man tore into his house with the mysterious bottle wrapped safely in his hat and stuffed into his pocket.
Mother! I have found Father! He's coming home!
It is hopeless, my child. He will not stay.
Mother! I have a bottle from an old man I met on my way home. He seemed very earnest when he told me to give you this bottle and to wash your face with its contents.
Elijah!
The woman took the bottle and prepared herself for her husband. She forced herself to look in the mirror. She gasped. She was so pretty.
My husband, you have returned.
My dear wife, I have now witnessed 2 miracles. You are so lovely, and our son is so loving.
The united family lived joyously for a long, long time, thanks to a son who believed in the deep beauty of his mother and to a prophet that sees this often said earth with God's miracles. The end.
Of all the stories read for these 2 stage readings of Jewish folk tales, this is the one of the often told in anthologies and one very unique to the Jewish body of folklore. I leave it to our esteemed wedding guests to ponder a bit on the cow-faced woman. Our last story is a fractured fairy tale retold by Enid Davis. She took a traditional version of a folk tale and changed it. Since this is a wedding, we'll bring back the Cinderella you all know and love, but surround her with Jewish characters. Enjoy.
We now present the Grimstein's Cinderella. Cinderella carefully adorned her stepsister's hair with sparkles, ribbons, and feathers. Their thanks to her was a nasty smirk, and then they were off to the ball. After her family departed for the palace, our desolate heroine left the house, sat on a log near the doorstep, and began to sob. Yenta the matchmaker happened to pass by.
Young lady, why do you cry so? You sink Noah's Ark with those tears.
I want to go to the ball. The prince is searching for a wife. Are you my fairy godmother?
I'm afraid not. I'm a matchmaker. I specialize in Jewish weddings.
Well, match me to a prince. Listen, matchmaker, matchmaker, a prince will do it. Just like a rabbi's son if you're Jewish.
Well, I can't say you don't have a good sense of humor.
Wonderful. So you'll help me. The first thing I need is a dress. I see you're carrying a satchel. Do you have a magic wand in it?
I'm afraid not. But wait, I do have the rabbi's daughter's beautiful wedding gown. She gave it to me after her wedding to give to a poor bride. If it fits, you can have it.
It fits. Now for some glass slippers.
That's another no, I'm afraid. Jewish mothers do not think about shoes made of glass or as safe to dance in. Think of what would happen if someone stepped on the bride's toes while doing the hora. All those splinters. Try these gold velvet slippers. You can save the glass for the wedding ceremony.
Oh, thank you. They fit perfectly.
Okay, Cookie, you look great. Have fun at the ball. Goodbye.
Wait! Yenta, please don't go yet. I need a coach and 6 horses. I'll get the pumpkin, the rats, and the mice.
Hey, you, bibbity bobbity boo. Come back here. Do not bring me any mice or rats. I promise I'll faint dead on the spot.
How will I get to the palace?
Clip, clop, clip, clip, clop.
Oh, look, there's Tevye the milkman is coming from his old carbon horse. You, Tevye, come here, come over here.
Good evening, Yenta. Miss?
Tevye, I want you should take this young lady.
I'm Cinderella.
Yeah, take Cinderella to the palace and pick her up before midnight.
What? Do I look like a New York cabbie to you? Yenta?
Tevye, and how many daughters do you have that need matches made in heaven?
All right. Hop on, Cinderella.
Thank you, Mr. Tevye. I'm almost ready to go.
Almost ready? What are you missing?
A diamond tiara.
What?
Everyone must think I'm a princess from a foreign land. That is what gets the prince's attention. Before my feet do, that is.
Maybe I can help.
Elijah!
Santa Claus!
No, Cinderella. This is Elijah the prophet.
I happen to know about this young lady. She is a gentle, generous girl. Her price is above rubies, thus she may wear this lovely tiara.
Oh, my. Thank you.
Goodbye, Cinderella. Good luck. And so, the 648th version of the story of Cinderella has now been told. As you might have guessed, Cinderella and the prince do marry at the end of the story.
And for this we give thanks to Tevye the milkman, Yenta the matchmaker, and yours truly, Elijah the prophet.
The end.
We will now end the show with a traditional closing of French folk tales. I made myself beautiful for the wedding. I had a dress made out of spider web, a hat of butter, and shoes of glass. But when I went through the forest, I tore my dress. When I crossed the plain, the sun melted my hat. When I walked on ice, I broke my shoes which went click-clack. These are the stories I had in my sack.
After we meet the cast, please stay for some wedding cake in honor of Molly and Solly's wedding and Enid and Sanford's 48th wedding anniversary. And now our cast. Julie Amato. Beverly Bogart. Hank Cooper. The author and director, Enid Davis. Sandy Sanford Davis. Cindy Hawkins. Bud Rubin. Irene Weinberg. Helen Weinstein. And myself, they call me Faco. Thank you.